All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast sponsored by Draftkings Sportsbook. This is Moose along with Mason Matthews on this strange week in the world of golf with a shortened AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am rolling into Waste Management / Super Bowl, a lot going on. And we have several guests here. We're going to get with Jim Smith, Director of Golf of Philadelphia Cricket Club momentarily, but we are joined by Zach and Scott from Rent a Sim. You guys apparently bring the fun to us. Is that true?
That's our motto. That's our motto.
Very, very cool. Excited to talk to you guys. Local guys, right? Drexel grads, if I'm not mistaken.
Grads, yeah. Bucks County, Philly.
Okay, so talk to us about how this came about. Right, we've been doing this for a while now, a couple of years, and we know the golf business has exploded. A lot that we do is talking to the ex-golfs and the 5-irons and the indoor. We had Main Swing on over in Doylestown, but you guys are taking it to a little bit of a different level. Very cool concept. Just talk about how this all came about.
Yeah, Zach and I are friends from Drexel University freshman year, so a while ago. And we just got to talking over last summer, and we're looking for an outlet, looking for a passion project. And we brought up the idea of golf simulator business, but we wanted to be different, unique. We can't just be another iteration of what's out there, and we wanted to be different. And what came of it was a portable golf and multi-sport simulator. So we do bring the fun to you, and we try to enhance events and augment the fun that's already happening.
Yeah, exactly that. And Scott and I started brainstorming this idea kind of last summer. I'm a big golf guy. Can't say my score is that well or my handicap is that low, but I go out there, have some fun, and I even convinced my wife to get married at TPC Sawgrass. So that was my big achievement. And so, but yeah, Scott and I, we came up with the idea, brainstormed it, and at the time I was living in New York. And so we were like, what can we do? Scott was in Philly. What can we do? Something together and can bring anywhere. And that's when we came up with the idea. And I've now since moved to Philly, and it's really just taken off since. So,
well, Scott, are you a big golf guy too?
No, I still have my baseball swing. If there's a house on the side of a golf course, you better watch out. So.
Very interesting.
So Moose mentioned earlier that we're well in tune with all of the simulator kind of concepts that are populating all over the place, even down here in South Florida. But talk about bringing a simulator there. Is this the first of the kind? I've never heard of somebody actually bringing a sim. Can you bring it to a house? Does it have to be, a certain size? Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah. So in its current iteration, we have kind of a 10-foot ceiling clearance that we'd like to get under. It's the first portable simulator, especially one that does more than just golf, and is at the same level that that you would experience at a 5-irons or other places indoors. So it's a really sophisticated setup and something we're proud of rolling out.
Yeah.
How long does that setup take?
About an hour and a half. Zach and I have got it down pretty solid at this point, but we're exploring partnerships, and we're getting out to some unique venues, and we're really excited about that.
What is the technology?
We're using what's it called? True Golf 2. So it's a product of True Golf simulators, and so we have their mats and their pads which tracks everything, uses their sensors and the overhead lights, and then enhances it with the microphones as well. It uses the same also cameras and everything like that for the multi-sport aspect of it as well. So with the soccer, with the hockey, everything comes up and uses the same technology, and it can literally switch from going shortest of the pin competition to the longest drive to doing a soccer shootout within 30 seconds.
They got hockey, Moose.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're talking about an old baseball swing. Moose has a hockey swing.
Well, it was funny. My wife made a profound statement the other day. I'm getting ready to go hit balls, and I said, "You know what? I played hockey my whole life, and I could put that puck anywhere I want, like I could at will." I said, "But I got on the golf course. I said I have no idea where the ball's going." And she said, "Well, why the f don't you just go play hockey and stop playing golf?"
Wow.
It's like,
there we go.
so I just stared at her.
You might be honest.
Like,
I thought you were going to say use a hockey swing, and you're going.
Nope. So I know we're talking to you guys.
or I was gonna say, or like Happy Gilmore, just bring out the hockey.
There you
That's
go.
what I have to
Learn
try
it.
to do. I have to try. So it's cool. You guys talked about going to different events. I know we're talking about joining our Alt 104.5 winner, John, down at Xfinity Live, which would be so cool at a concert. But when I saw corporate events and bachelor parties, it made me think, like, especially with Airbnb being so big, especially with bachelor parties, right? Now you get a place that has a nice yard in the spring or the summer. Adding an element like this would be incredible. Talk about what type of events are kind of leading the charge right now and where you're looking to expand to.
Yeah, so we're really excited first about our partnership with the Trenton Thunder here locally. So you could actually rent the simulator in the suite level at the Thunder games for both games and corporate events. So it's a great way to get 65 plus people in a augmented environment. That's really exciting for kids, for parents, for everyone involved. But from there, I mean, we were at the Bridal Expo in Philadelphia. The feedback we got from one of the brides was that this is really a men's babysitter, right? We had a lot of rolling eyes from women. Like, I would never have this at the event. And we really talked about the morning of, right? Guys really have nothing to do, and women are getting hair and makeup done since 6 a.m. And so this is a really cool gift for the day of for guys, just to relax and kick it with their friends and their groomsmen. But we think this can really be anywhere: hotels, casinos, tons of different venues. I don't think there's really a cap to where we can go, but it also can go outside as well. So think festivals, think tailgates, think things of that nature. So
it's such a smart way to market it at a bridal show. Is
exactly.
You have the women saying, "Wait, I'm not sure that I want this," but I think it's brilliant because, like you said, the women are getting their hair and makeup done. The guys sit there twiddling their thumbs for 6 hours. Like, what do I do now?
Drinking.
I went to brunch with friends, so.
The guys are drinking, Danielle.
Yeah, exactly.
They need something to do
now
while
they
they're drinking
and play golf.
Right.
You know what I mean? It helps.
I think that babysitter line is something that'll stick with me for a while because it's really what it is. I mean, it's a way to keep people occupied where they might not want to stay longer. All right. So you think about food and beverage, right? Top Golf, 5-irons, they're all food and beverage plays with a reason to keep people there longer. And if you augment or change the way food and beverage establishments try to keep their customers there longer, it actually could have ROI on keeping people there, keeping it stickier for customers, and making them pay more. And that's what it's really all about for venues.
Well, you guys, your website is rentasim.co, and I know you guys are on social media now too, Instagram and X.
Yes.
But if I wanted to, to rent this out for, having some guys over, maybe to watch the Super Bowl, maybe we want to have a sim there for a couple hours, lead, because I can't watch 6 hours of pregame, right? So we want to hit some guys. How long can we have it? Is it a standard time, or is it just sort of depends on what we negotiate?
Yeah, no, we'll augment to what your event is, what you're doing, how you want it set up, how you want it to flow it. We'll be there to MC the event. We're there to make it to what you need it to be. So however it is, we're happy to kind of brainstorm and work it out. And if you just come to us and say, hey, I need it here, I don't know how I want it set up, we'll make sure that we get it in a place where it's not taking away from maybe the main thing, but it's also enhancing it and giving people a thing to do as well.
How about you guys talk about multi-sports, about the equipment? Like what can people expect, right? What do they have to bring? What do you guys provide along with the sim?
Yeah, we provide everything.
Nice.
It's the idea of showing up somewhere that you wouldn't expect it to be, and playing golf, right? Taking the golf to, even like trade shows, right? No one's bringing a bag of golf clubs to a trade show, but to take some high value customers, you might want to help them get around to golfing and talk to them while they're golfing. It's a great way to enhance the business meetings that you would have on a golf course, for example.
Very cool. So what's next for you guys? Like, what I know guys like you. I know how you operate. I know how you think. I know you're thinking about what's next. So what's on the horizon with this?
So we have a few products that we're looking to eventually bring out as well. Bring putting greens. We bring out even putt and chip, things like that. But all within the simulator space. That's kind of our sweet spot. And so we want to bring that and really bring things that augment events, right? And that's kind of our passion is we love to go to places, love to have a good time, but at the same time, you got to stay unique. You got to stay different, right? For the longest time, photo booths were the biggest thing. And so, and now there's so many different ways and everyone's craving the next new thing, the next new piece of entertainment. And so that's where we're trying to stay. We're trying to stay in that entertainment space and really provide that capability to wherever you want it to be. Rather than you coming to us, we come to you and provide that service. So,
yeah, we want to keep playing on that idea. We have ideas of changing this to, a 2.0, 3.0 version of what we're rolling out now. Some more sophisticated ways to get that to our customers. Doing a lot of partnerships, maybe with mobile bars or other mobile type of opportunities. And we're going to continue to iterate and advance ourselves to meet what the clients are looking for. And we really want to hear feedback from people and would love to be at future events, even the 1045 concert this weekend, and hear what people have to say. So we're really excited to see people's feedback.
Awesome. And where's the footprint, right? I know you guys are local.
Yeah.
How far will you guys travel?
Really the tri-state area, anywhere New York down to Delaware. At the Bridal Expo, we had people down in Rehoboth asking about this because, there's a whole winter season that people still use for wedding venues and things like that. And speaking from experience, Rehoboth or beach towns are not a place to be during the winter. There's really nothing open, right? So a great way to keep people entertained and Friday night rehearsal dinner or Sunday brunch for guests, things like that. There's a lot of opportunities for people to use this and enhance what's going on.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate the time. Make sure you check out Rent-A-Sim. Check them out on social media. Check out the website. See what this is all about. And think ahead a little bit, right? What do you guys have coming up, right? Is it something that you could add this to your event, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's, we have a lot of golf course owners and operators that listen to this show. And, not everyone has these great indoor facilities yet. So it's something that could, for a big event, or even for a member guest or an indoor event that they could have in the wintertime, this would be awesome to add to it. So very cool stuff. We appreciate your time and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks so much for having us on.
Thank you, guys.
Really appreciate it.
thank you.
You got it. All right, let's take a quick break and we will be right back. All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Very cool to talk to the guys from Rent-A-Sim. Pretty cool concept, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wish they were around. I would have got that for B right before our wedding. Give them something to do.
Yeah. Keep them safe.
Yeah.
Well, we are joined by another special guest, Jim Smith, director of golf at Philadelphia Cricket Club. Jim, welcome to Swing It and Ding It, man. How's it going?
Everything's great. Thank you for having me. Although at the time that we're recording this, I'm an early to bed, early to rise guy. So that's my bedtime. Brandon knows it too, Danielle.
Brandon was navigating or kind of sharing some of the text exchange between you guys. And
well, before we jumped on, I did say, and I will say it now while we're recording, Philadelphia Cricket Club is my favorite golf course, period, hands down. And it's a place where, obviously our friend Ryan Gano is a member there, right? You can get on the course. It's not this ultra super can never get on it type of place. They're very welcoming. But what you guys have there, Jim, is absolutely incredible. So talk to us just overall. I know we're going to talk about the USGA Amateur Fourball coming up, but talk to us about Philly cricket in general and kind of your golf journey to get you to that point of where you're director of golf and cricket.
Well, I mean, you said it already. It's an incredibly special place, and I'm fond of saying that as good as the facilities are, and they're fantastic, the best thing about the place is actually the membership. We have an awesome group of members, warm, welcoming, supportive. It's unlike any membership I've ever been around, and it motivates everybody, me, the rest of the team, to come in every day and do the best that we can to make sure that they have a great time. And we take a lot of pride in making sure that people that come to the club feel like you just said, right? It could be the highlight of somebody's year. Maybe It's somebody who doesn't get to play a lot of great places, and they show up at the club and they've been looking, forward to it for a year. And we want to make them feel like, what, as good as this place is, it feels good. I'm getting ready to go into my 19th year there, which is kind of hard to believe. Especially when you consider that my first head pro job when I was 24 was at the Abington Club.
Oh yeah,
Little
that's a
9-hole
Tillinghast too.
It is. It is. And I was there for 5 years, and then I was at Talonmore for 10 before I got to cricket. So in a lot of ways, I'm sort of the anti-pedigree guy. I'm the guy that's been really lucky that has gotten to a great place, but, you know, didn't come from the Oakmonts or the Merions or the Pine Valleys or the Shinnecocks of the world. And, you know, just I feel very lucky to be there and just count my blessings every day that they give me money to go there. It's crazy.
Well, I saw on your LinkedIn that you're responsible for ensuring a world-class experience for members and guests at one of the top private golf clubs in the country. What is the biggest challenge? That's a great statement, by the way. What is the biggest challenge in that?
It's a big place, right, with a lot of moving parts. I mean, we have 45 holes of golf. We've got 2 separate campuses. We've got the #1 rackets facility in the country. So there's a lot of moving parts. And I think the most challenging part is developing and maintaining and improving a culture where everybody on the team is you know, sort of rowing in the same direction. Everybody knows what they need to do. I like to tell people my main job is making sure the right people are in the right places, doing the right things at the right times. That's my job. So it
mine too with this podcast, but it hasn't worked out so well. So.
Yeah. I mean,
dealing with me and Harry, he has a tough job.
Well, it starts with hiring great people and then creating an environment that they're happy coming to work in. I'm a big believer in the Richard Branson School of Management, you know, which is make your employees happy and they'll make, you know, your customers happy. So most of my effort is and revolves around trying to create culture and make sure that everybody at the club who's working there loves coming to work. Because I know if we can create that kind of environment for the staff, I really don't have to tell them what to do for the members because they'll value their jobs. They'll value coming to the club, and they know that if they deliver a great experience, it adds more value to what they do. So I guess that's a simpler way of saying what I do.
Yeah, great philosophy. Now, you said early to bed, early to rise. You know, I can completely agree with that. Like Harry said, looking at your LinkedIn, COO, Director of Golf at Philly Cricket, GM at Flowertown. And you still own the pro shop. So that isn't really a modern occurrence in golf as much these days. So balancing that, how do you balance everything all together with so many responsibilities?
I like to call myself organized. My wife would like to call me anal.
Ridiculous.
As would some of the staff. It really just boils down to being really organized. And, you know, I have joked, I'm typically in bed at 8 o'clock. I'm usually up at 4 and I'm usually at work no later than 5. And I do that. I've gotten into that routine in part because if I'm there from, let's say, 5 to 7 before anybody arrives, I can accomplish a lot more in that 2 hours. You know, and that'll free me up when people start arriving, when guests start arriving, members start arriving, for me not to be stuck behind the desk. So, you know, it's a function of being organized, of having good systems. It's also a function of delegating. You know, we have a big staff. So it's making sure that, you know, you give the staff, you know, the responsibility to deliver different experiences. And, you know, I guess, is it the Marines whose motto is trust but verify? You know, I do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right? Deliver it, but just make sure that it's getting done the right way. So, you know, it really boils down to, honestly, it's everything about the success of an experience to me boils down to, you know, the people who are on the front lines. I'm not technically on the front line. I'm not the guy who's greeting somebody when they arrive with their bag. I'm generally not the guy behind the pro shop counter when somebody buys a shirt, right? But those are
you responsible for those chicken sandwiches in the halfway house? Because if whoever is, I would like to thank
Give up
them
a raise.
sincerely.
Chef Ben does a great job with that, right? But you know, it's the people that make those sandwich chefs. It's chef's recipe, but it's the guys in the kitchen who come in every day and make that the same way every day consistently, right? So, you know, the success of any operation, in my opinion, is you know, your frontline staff, and so they're the people that you gotta, you know, watch out for the most and take care of the most. And it's the bartenders and the outside service people and the assistant golf professionals. Just, you know, again, it goes back to the same philosophy: take care of people, treat them the right way, give them a great environment, and they'll do what you need them to do.
Harry, he said my 2 favorite words: And I did my part at the pro shop when I was there 2 times.
Thank you.
These guys know when I'm at a pro shop, I'm gonna do my part to support the cause. I don't have any of the logos on today, but I have them all over the place. So.
My granddaughter and my daughter getting ready to get married this year appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say the groomsmen are wearing Philly cricket.
I've seen it actually.
Yeah. It's funny because I think it was a first tee auction, and I'm like, what am I? I'm going to bid on another round of golf somewhere that I'll probably forget about. But they had lessons at Philly Cricket, and I'm like, if that gets me on the grounds again at Philly Cricket, I'm in. So I didn't know who it was going to be with, and I wound up meeting Rob Shimoni.
Okay, good.
Turns out I worked with his dad when I was at the Fanatic with Harry, and his dad was at Yingling a million years ago, same name. So we had that connection, and I wound up adding on and going back to see Rob a couple times since because I just enjoyed the experience so much. Obviously, Rob and as knowledgeable as he is and helpful as he is, but also just being there, right? Just being able to pull up there and drive out in the cart and go to the practice area. I just love it, right? Just tremendous stuff.
I love hearing that, and it's not necessarily playing 18 holes of golf. It's having lunch. It's taking a lesson, right? It's
a chicken sandwich.
All those little
chicken
things.
Sandwich. Yeah.
It's a chicken sandwich, exactly. It's hundreds of small things that create a great experience, not one big wow factor,
But we also have to congratulate you on being awarded the Bill Strauss Ball Award on a national level, which is given to the PGA of America professional who demonstrates exemplary character, integrity, and leadership through teaching and mentoring. And I know mentoring is a big deal to you, so congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you. That honestly is much more of a recognition of all the great people that I've gotten to work with over the years. It's a recognition. I've had some awesome mentors over the years, members and non-members. The reality is when people come to the club or somebody calls me for advice, they're taking a chance on me, right? They're taking a chance that I can help them. It makes me feel good that people are willing to take that chance, but that's an award that I'm really proud of for everybody that's come through the doors of cricket, because everybody has had a part in that.
Yeah, and you've had 35 or more of your teammates advance to bigger and better things through coming and working with you.
Yeah,
that's tremendous.
Listen, again, it goes back to the philosophy of if you hire good people and they know that you have their best interest at heart and you do everything you can to help them succeed in life, in business, and whatever it is, it's going to make getting talented people even easier. So every time one of our team gets a head pro job or director of outside services job or director of instruction job, in the end, you just hope that people look back at you and say, yeah, you know what? He's a good guy and he helped me. It's not any more complicated than that.
You might have an influx of resumes in your LinkedIn connection request after everyone hears this podcast. Everyone's going to want to come to Philly Cricket and work for you.
I hope they do. I would love nothing more.
So talk to us about the 2024 USGA Amateur Fourball coming up in May. We know what goes in. It's funny. We had the guys from Wilmington Country Club on before the BMW, and it's like, it's a big deal when you have an event of any kind of magnitude, but something as big as that with so many eyes on it. So just talk about how that all came about and how long you guys have been preparing and what goes into that.
So that championship replaced the U.S. Pub Links Championship. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was roughly 9 years ago. And we originally, so when the USGA conceptualized it, one of their goals was to have it go to great places in the first 5 years, because they wanted to establish the event, right?
Yeah.
In a way that, lent it prestige and frankly, got a lot of entries. So we were lucky to be one of the first 5 clubs that they had formed an agreement with. And if I remember correctly, I think, Wingfoot, Olympic, some Pinehurst, some great places, right? And that was in 2020. And of course, we were scheduled to host the Fourball in May of 2020, and COVID had other ideas in March of 2020. So we were basically ready to go. And then I guess it was April 1st or so, they pulled the plug. And at that point, we took a step back and let things kind of settle. And then later on that year, latter part of the year, they came back to us and said, listen, would you consider doing this in a future year? That's how we ended up in 2024. And the membership, the staff, we're all super excited. We love We love having, people come from around the country to the place, right? We love for them to see what the cricket club is. And we're going to have 270 odd of the best amateurs in the country coming to Philadelphia. That championship is now the third most applied for championship that the USGA runs, behind the US Open and the US Am.
Wow.
And the quality of the play is phenomenal. So, it'll be interesting to see how the golf courses hold up, because they are 2 championship golf courses, but we're talking about, the best players in the country. And, more importantly, it's a chance for us to meet and develop relationships with a lot of people we otherwise wouldn't get to meet. And ultimately, hopefully we'll call them friends when they leave.
And swing it and ding it live. Huh?
There you go.
Jim, talk about the prep and the work that goes into preparing for this. Like, is a lot of the
just rank a couple bunkers.
But no, like, is the responsibility like a lot of your team, or does the USGA come and take a lot off your hands? Like, are you able to enjoy the week at all? Like, how do you think that will go?
We're going to work really hard prepping for it. So when the week comes, it'll just like either we've prepared well and we can kind of sit back and let it unfold and enjoy it, or we screwed up. But there's a tremendous amount of prep. I mean, I spent 3 hours this morning developing the volunteer spreadsheet, just so that we had a spreadsheet. So long story short is the USGA provides tremendous resources, and the guys that are involved in running the event are awesome. They're great to deal with. But the burden, there's a huge burden that falls on the club. It's not just me, but we probably have, if I remember the checklist that we created, there's probably 20 different staff members that have different tasks that they've got to accomplish heading into the event. I liken it to it's we all have full-time jobs, and then well, here's kind of a semi-full-time job on top of you for 5 or 6 months. But
add it to the list.
The work is worth the reward. It really is.
Yeah, showcasing your course for a USGA, a huge event like that. I did hear that some of your members may have qualified. Is that true? And if so, who do we have that are playing in it?
So there's 2 members that made it. Andy Latowski, who's actually a non-resident member. He's a former Penn State golfer who lives on the West Coast, and he teamed with Gregor Orlando. Gregor's, local, phenomenal guy and phenomenal golfer. He actually won the Philadelphia Amateur. I think it was in 2019 when we hosted it at Cricket. So the hometown boy won that championship. So those 2 got in, and obviously we're going to be cheering really hard for them. They're 2 phenomenal guys. Gregor played at the University of Virginia. So if you see these 2 guys hit the golf ball, they're as good as anybody in the country. And, our fingers will be crossed that they have a great showing.
That's very so cool. Yeah, we talked, the 2022 Philly Open, the 2019 Big Ten Championship. How about the Harry? Remember the 1907 and 1910 U.S. Opens?
Oh yeah,
they were a good time. Now, do you know who won the 1907 U.S. Open?
I do not.
Chance? Gentleman by the name of Alex, last name of Ross.
Yep,
brother of Donald Ross.
Okay.
Oh,
how about that?
Wow, that's
a crack research team.
I do know the other trivia is that the Senior Players Championship was there. I know who won that one. Harry, do you know that?
Was that Bernhard?
Ding, ding, ding.
Langer? Yeah.
Yes,
I was there.
Wow.
Harry's good. Harry's good.
I saw Bernhard. I played in the pro member down at Red Stick down in Vero last week, and Bernhard actually played in the event, so I got to talk to him a little bit, and he was so.
Is that the one where he got injured?
It was 2 days before he got injured.
Okay. Oh man, wow!
I think it might have been his last round of golf, but he was so. I reintroduced myself, and he was so gracious, and he had such nice things to say about the club. But again, it's such a special place, and. Whether it's Bernhard Langer, who might be one of the greatest golfers of our generation, or, somebody that's never been to the club and only spends the day there in a golf outing. It makes me feel good when somebody leaves and says it's a great spot.
Yeah. Sounds like you're doing a great job. Everyone I've ever mentioned the name to has always said it's such a great experience. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear.
Well, listen, we want to get you to bed. We don't want to keep you much longer. We know you got to get tucked
4 a.m. is in just a few hours.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I did want to mention, and she knows, I played with Brandon last Monday. I was down in Florida, and we got connected. And I'm so happy for you guys, to be expecting. And I've known Brandon peripherally. Obviously, I know him. Last time I saw you, I think Brandon was practicing before your wedding, right? I saw you in the parking lot. But I never got to spend any extended time with him, and to spend 4 hours with him, most of the talk was about being a dad and how excited he is. It was just it just rekindled memories of when I had the 3 kids. So I'm super happy for you guys. And, I know you're going to love being parents.
I truly appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming on. He said he was chatting with you and I was like, we got to bring him on the pod. So thank you. He was being my secretary coordinating this for us, but appreciate you staying up past your bedtime. Appreciate the kind words and spending some time with Brandon last night.
Sorry we couldn't record at 5 a.m. A little bit before Harry and
after the 4 ball, we'll do a 5 a.m. recording.
I love it. I love it. I'm flattered that you asked me, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck in preparing everything, and we'll definitely see you out there in May, and hopefully get a chance to see you before. But thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again.
You got it. All right, guys, another quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to a jam-packed Swing It and Ding It. Love it. Busy week. Great guests. Interesting.
Too bad we have nothing to talk about, though, otherwise.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Harry May is one of those guys to play that tournament. He wanted him to finish.
I wanted a Monday round like you have no idea. When I woke up, because I say I get up around 5 a.m. First thing I'll do is, I get another glass of water and I check my phone. And I'm looking at the phone.
Harry does drink water.
I see I drink lots of water in the morning. I hydrate all morning. I see a tweet from Kyle Nunemaker, of all people, who's in the one and done, congratulating himself with a picture of the final board with him up at the top. He was tied with some other guy who also had Ludwig Oberg. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's not over. So I do before I lash out at anybody, I did some research. I calmed myself down and I found out, damn, they canceled the tournament last night at 9:30. I was already in bed. Mm-hmm. I mean, between Washington hiring an offensive coordinator, Joel Embiid ending the Sixers season, and a cancellation of a golf tournament all took place at 9:30, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. I missed all of it.
Oh, wow.
But
what happens when you go to bed early?
And I looked at the weather. The weather's fine.
No, but you know what? Harry, it wasn't, though. And Mackenzie Hughes, I put out a tweet because I know that our text messages were kind of saying this. He said, the decision to cancel the final round was a no-brainer. I'm glad they made the right decision. He said, I drove to the course to retrieve my stuff and couldn't believe the destruction the storm had caused. Trees down on homes, power lines down. Hope the people of Monterey stay safe. I saw
60-mile-an-hour winds.
It was insane. If you saw Ben Griffin's tweets and Snapchats and everything else, all of his stories, it was insane. I saw a lot of my friends' Instagram highlights that were out there just showing there was a rainbow at one point, but I remember last year how wild that weather was, and this year they said was triple bad. So. Yeah.
And the last time a tournament was called for 54 holes was the Zurich Classic in 2016. Interestingly enough, in 2009 at Pebble Beach, DJ
that's
gets
when
the
DJ
win
won,
with the shortened 54.
Yeah.
But you have Wyndham Clark, who still walks away with that $3.6 million after 54 holes. I feel like we were robbed of a great final because you had 9 players within 5 shots, and
we all wanted to see that,
and some serious players too, right?
Not knowing that it was the final round. I mean, there was some talk that it might have been at when they were playing, but Oberg comes up 2 inches short on a 37-foot putt for eagle on the 18th hole. Had he made that, there's a playoff. Then they're tied at 17 under. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, it's interesting too, right? Because all the news is about Wyndham Clark shooting the best round ever at Pebble Beach with that 60. Almost shoots a 59, right? Isn't that always the way?
He left 2 in the jaws on 16 and 17.
Oh yeah, our group text again was going wild. I was like, wait, he just missed that. Harry's the second one.
And the putt on 12 for bogey was ridiculous. It was 26 feet downhill, left to righter, and he nails it and just walks off the green. Looks at his caddy, and his caddy was like, "Are you serious?"
When you're hot,
you're hot. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Well, your boy Rory won the Pro-Am portion.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah.
Jeff Rhodes. Who's
I'll tell you, that guy must be a sandbagger because Rory did nothing.
He played in the name. Rory shot a 73 or something.
Yeah, Rory did nothing.
Our boy Jeff Rhodes from PTR or TPG Capital, who's funding some of Rory's ventures, playing at a 9. Yeah. Out there like Aaron Rodgers, sandbagging.
Right. And I know last year when Wyndham won the U.S. Open, we talked about his putter, Odyssey putter that he used to such great ability. Well, he actually switched putters for this event again. He had 9 putters on the putting green during the week with his and a putting guru, and they're going through all these different putters, and he finally switched and to an Odyssey Jailbird, from the Odyssey Jailbird, which he used at Los Angeles Country Club, to the AI1 Jailbird Cruiser, and that's what won him the tournament.
Jailbird Cruiser.
If I told you that someone had 9 putters on the putting green before the tournament, would you? How much money would you bet that he would not win that tournament?
Oh, I'm fading the heck out of him, right?
But you know what? Maybe it's not highlighted as much, but I'm telling you, these guys, when you walk out there and they're always
tinkering,
around,
right?
You pick it up, you're looking at it. They can't help but touch it, look at it, look in everybody else's bag, and hit a couple putts.
Now a 60 is a 60, okay, but it was lift clean in place. Okay, there was no wind. There was no wind whatsoever. The wind came after the round was over, and it was really super soft. So,
well, I'm just glad that's out of the way for when I go in July. I don't have to worry about breaking the course record now. I could just have fun and relax and just enjoy the round.
Exactly.
I'm glad it's going to be stress-free for you, Moose.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. Thank you. But yeah, we talked about our boy Aubert, who's just a leaderboard killer these days, right? Gets second place. How about Pavone, who gets at third place? You think this guy's going to start falling off? He's legit. He's looking for that. He's looking to get to Paris. Yeah. You had Hubbard and Dietrich. Dietrich's playing really well.
Yeah, he is.
Scheffler, ho-hum, T6, right?
Yep.
If he's not in the top 10, it's just ridiculous. JT and Hoagie. And we talked about Hoagie because he plays really well here. Jason Day. You had Burns at 10, Rose at 11, Cantlay at 12. But, I mean, like I said, you had a bunch of guys that were looking to make a run on that Sunday. Yeah. And I think it forced a lot of people to watch Live Golf. They doubled their ratings. I watched some of it. I tried. I really did, because I'm not a hater. I'm not anti. I posted about it on Twitter. It is funny, though. Like I heard Michael Collins and Sobel talking about it today. It's almost like all the characters, not villains, but like colorful guys, that they're all there, right? When you look at the Patrick Reeds, the Phils, the Brooks, the Brysons, even Rahm, who's very colorful. Very interesting. Hatton, exactly. Yeah.
I do have some numbers on the view. So, because I think a lot of people changed. It's like, okay, wait, we have no golf on Sunday, and it's like, all right, let's switch over. We did in my house, but Pebble Beach PGA Tour on Saturday on CBS, 1.951 million viewers. Live on Saturday on the CW, 168,000. On Sunday, 432,000. So when we're still looking at viewership side by side, even with it canceled, we're looking at Saturday versus Saturday, 1.951 million versus Live on Saturday, 168,000.
Yeah. Curious to see this week number on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
With them playing in Vegas.
Yeah, but like you said, a lot of us all did switch over and take a look at it and try to watch it. I know Brandon and I really was like the first time that, honestly, I think for him as well, that we sat and watched, a few holes through. I was talking about it with Brandon's dad today on the phone. I was like, there's still some things, and I'm being objective. I'm like, look, let's sit here, let's watch. But there's still some things that, like, I just don't know that I can get over. Like, I think players wearing shorts are still weird. And, that's not that big of a deal for some people. For me, it is. But these are just weird. My takeaways. Yeah. The team uniforms are still strange. I know you guys like some of the
I kind of like some of them.
Yeah, I mean, the range goods is kind of cool, but it's like
good or
hit or
really
miss.
Bad.
Yeah.
Right.
They're hit or miss.
Brooks still isn't wearing one. It's funny.
I know, right? But the team format is still a miss for me.
Yeah.
Golf is such an individual sport. So seeing Rahm's frustration after like his last 2 holes, but then having a mic in his face, like, your team won. And he's like, I'm going to need a minute. Like, it's an individual sport, yet we're still trying to be pushed on this team format.
Yeah.
The music playing is still weird. It almost makes it feel like less important,
right?
Or not as serious. So that's another miss for me. The mics are hot, which is a hit for me. I think it's comical.
Yeah, I think it's
funny to hear a few bombs.
You see a lot of golf shots because there's not as many commercials.
That's the point.
Yes, a lot of golf. It's great.
But even with commercials, they show golf pretty much all the time. They're not messing around watching some guy line up a putt for 5 minutes. Like they show you golf shots. Man, on Saturday, I'm watching Højgaard, and I know I jumped in on you, Danielle.
No, you're good.
But Højgaard had a drop. He's not even in the running for he's playing with Wyndham Clark. It's the only reason they knew it happened. On 13, he hit a ball into the grandstand. We watched this for 10 minutes. Him, figuring out where it entered the grandstand, getting a drop, getting the ball. They're showing you the ball. And I'm like, there's golf shots going on all over the golf course. Show me that. I don't care about this. No, I'm with you. CBS gets so caught up in that showing you the coastline and I had so many of those
talking about the
shots,
wildlife,
Stillwater Cove, and showing you these sailboats that were sitting on trailers for
those
God's sake.
Squirrel monkey things.
Yes, who cares? Show me golf.
Yes. No, Harry, that's my 2 hits with Liv were the hot mics and all the golf shots.
And I like the graphics. Like, they'll show you Neiman's face.
Some of them are too big.
The putting graphics, though, I literally can't take it. I'm trying to watch a putt. I want to see where it's going to break. There's a graphic outlining a 3-footer in the direction that he's aiming, not even to the,
I feel like you know what I feel like that. You know what I relate that to, right? Like we're like Danielle, you are live, breathe, and die golf, so that drives you crazy. It's like remember when the NHL had like the red thing on the puck,
the glowing puck,
right? Yeah. As a hockey player, it drove me nuts. But people that didn't know hockey thought it was kind of cool. It's almost like they're trying to pull in people, and I get that part of it. But they're trying.
The general viewer, I guess I can see that point, but it was driving me wild. I couldn't watch a putt. I'm like, if I see this stupid putt tracer again, I'm going to lose my mind.
And I think Arlo White, I've watched a few telecasts last year, and this was obviously the first one I saw this year. Yeah. Arlo White has dialed it back a little bit. He was way over the top last year.
Yeah, I think he's still a little bit over the top, right?
It's
he's
too
trying
much.
To make it, he's trying to make it sound like it's the back nine at the Masters.
Yeah,
every shot.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like he's fantastic. Like if he's incredible on Ted Lasso, he's the voice of the soccer on Ted Lasso. He's great, but he's a little bit over the top here.
Yeah. But Liv couldn't have scripted a better ending for Pebble to be canceled. So many additional people, jumping over and viewing on Sunday to go into a playoff into the dark where finally the music's cut off. We see 2 players going head to head. It's feeling a little like PGA Tour. You have Joaquin and you have Garcia. Like it didn't feel like Liv anymore once we got to that playoff.
Right.
So I think for Liv, like they couldn't have scripted a better ending for all the people.
Dark out there, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it was so dark.
It was like a 4-hole playoff. It went
4 holes.
Yeah. And he's Wacko Neiman now. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Wacko, they call
Wacko
him.
Neiman and Albert changed again. Now he's Oberg.
Oberg. Yeah.
I can't keep up.
And like, see, again, taking away from and maybe that's their approach being fun and light, but it's like, okay, like, it's a joke? It's funny? Like, I don't, I'm not sure. There's a question mark by it. So.
And Wyndham shot 60 on Saturday. Wacko shot 59 on Friday.
He bombs it, by the way.
He had the 2-shot penalty on Saturday, right?
Yes, he did.
He had a penalty. Rory had a penalty. He's like, guys, did you forget what's going on out there? Crazy stuff. But we head to Phoenix. I wish it's crazy because you see the weather. Like you saw Brad's post today. It was like cold.
Yeah, look
rainy.
at what I just put out too. I just put a second one out. It is.
I had a blast at this thing last year. Like
that's right.
It was the most fun golf tournament I've ever been to. I spent the day on 17, then I went into 16. Actually, our guy Dan Hirschberg from Amateur Golf Society is heading out there. And he's going to head out to 16 to the little iHeart suite that we have. But just so much fun. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the weather. But you have 135 golfers, 5 of the top 10, 9 of the top 20. The back-to-back winner, Scotty Scheffler, who's world number 1, will be there. But they're saying like into 50s, some wind, some rain. You had, like I said, Scheffler back-to-back. You had Brooks 1 in 21, Webb Simpson in 20, Ricky Fowler in 19. And it takes place at TPC Scottsdale. And let's talk about the course, of course, with our friend Harry Mays.
Yeah, TPC Scottsdale is a Moorish Weisskopf design, par 71. They get this thing up to about 7,200, almost 7,300 yards. TIFF Dwarf Bermuda grass fairways and greens, Moose. I know you love your grass. 3 par 5s, only 3 par 5s, the 3rd, the 13th, and the 15th. The 15th is part of a tremendous finish that builds unbelievable drama. 4 par 3s, the 4th, the 7th, the 12th, and of course the 16th, which is going to be, you're not going to see more par 3 shots than you will this weekend. They're going to live in that stadium. That's the one thing that, having watched this for 20 some odd years, I'm over it. Okay. I love it. It's fun, but that's all
you're
they're
going
to show you.
You're gonna have Kiz this year.
That would be good.
That's gonna be fun. It's Kiz and Smiley are playing the role of Colt and Amanda this year.
They're going to be in the stadium.
They're going to be post up on 16. So
I can't take Colt and Amanda.
Yeah, hammered right down the middle. Yeah, I could do without Colt.
But the par 4 11th hole generally plays as the toughest hole on the golf course. There's water all the way up the left-hand side, a native area on the right. Big bunkers guard the front and left portion of the green, 472 yards. And I'll skip right up to the 15th hole, which is a par 5, 553, water all down the left-hand side. An approach to an island green with a big bunker on the left and a smallest little pot bunker sort of on the short right. There's a tremendous risk reward. Guys are going to be going for it in 2 there, bringing a lot of water into play. Then they walk underneath the stadium and out into the Coliseum, and it is a scene. I couldn't imagine being a player walking in there, maybe tied for the lead on Sunday and having to walk into that amphitheater and execute a golf shot, which really isn't a hard golf shot. It's only a 160-yard hole. For those guys, they're hitting 8 or 9 irons most likely. But with that, I don't know how many people they get in there, Moose. In the like 20,000. It looks like a small Fenway Park.
It might be. I forget if it's 16 or if it's 8. I know that sounds funny, but I can't. I'll have to look it up. But
we'll have to pull that fact. But if you guys go ahead on Brad Faxon's Instagram, I got to still put it out on Twitter. He's there now. He's working first event of the season, and he showed today, Tuesday, and it was like 5 o'clock when he was there. A couple guys out in the rain still practicing, and I posted a whole reel of him giving an overview of how big it actually is. And Harry echoing the same
20,000 people.
20,000, yeah. That's what
he's like, imagine coming out here on
20,000
Sunday. Like it's like electric.
Yeah.
I mean, here at the Honda, even the Bears
putting a Sixers game in the middle of
right.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And then you go from there.
It was crazy because I
4. Go ahead.
No, I was saying when I was there last year, it's wild because I went into 16. I sat in the Eagles area, and it's like nice, plush suites, and then you go up a level and it's still nice. Then you go up a level and it's like the 700 level at the vet.
700 level.
And it felt like a little, I felt like they just built it that week, the day before. Yeah. Up there,
really?
Right. And it was a little,
Ricky.
I'm going to head back down. But
Ricky,
it was like, you
back
did not feel like
sheets.
you were at a golf tournament. Yeah. But it was so cool. So cool to see.
Then you go to the par 4 17th, which I think is the coolest hole in the golf. I love drivable par 4s in these tournaments. 332 yards. There's water left of the green and over the green. A small bunker kind of right in the middle of the fairway, about 35 yards in front of the green. And then one on the back of the green that kind of splits the back of the green. It's just, we saw Ricky Fowler a couple years ago put in the water, I think twice. He did it in regulation, and I think he did it again in the playoff. We saw Sahith Thagala had the tournament basically in his hands and put it in the water. I think his went over the green or to the left, and you saw his disgust with himself after he knew he just lost the golf tournament. So, and then the 18th hole, which is a cool, tough par 4 of only 442 yards, but a real narrow landing area. For the guys who really want to push it deep. It brings a lot of water into play on the left-hand side. There's bunkers down the right, and then above the water on the left-hand side, these church pew bunkers, a little bit of an homage maybe to Oakmont, but they look super cool. But you don't want to get. I've seen guys get in the middle of those in the grass area. It is such a hard shot into a multi-tiered green. So it's a lot of drama. It's a great finish. I love this tournament. I've had enough of constant coverage of the 16th hole, though. That's the thing. How many
golf shots of different
Yes, more golf shots. Exactly.
Well, we always go to, I'd like to give you some stats from our buddy Jeff Ulrich. He puts out some great stuff. So how about this? 12 of the last 13 winners had a T7 or better in one of the last 5 starts. Each of the past 8 winners had a top 10 finish here the year prior.
Ooh.
and driving distance. Only 2 of the last 8 winners were outside of the top 30 in driving distance. So very, very interesting as we move over to seeing the line. I'm going to put this in front so I can't see your faces when I read this. Stuff
Are we distracting?
from our friends at DraftKings, and we know what it is, right? It's Super Bowl week. DraftKings is an official partner. So if you are looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. The line's still sitting there. KC +2, 47.5 has not moved much. We'll talk about what we like in the golf tournament, but it is Super Bowl week, so we know that that's where the focus is. But download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DING. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code DING. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. I'm back.
Nice work.
Well done.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So I will kick off the See the Line segment after looking into some of those stats I just gave. I'm going to start it with a matchup. How about this? How about Brian Harman plus money over Spieth plus 130? I like that. I think Spieth's struggling a little bit.
Yep.
Hideki, pretty decent number, 4,000 for Hideki, who has a win.
He's got 2 wins there, I think.
2 wins,
Yeah.
16 and 17.
Yeah.
He's coming off a T13 at the Farmers, so I really like Hideki here.
Yeah.
JT Poston has a T20 and a T11. He was T20 at Pebble, pretty decent number at 3,000, and a long shot. How about that Michael Kim, who was T6 at the Amex at 130 to 1? So pretty juicy number for him for this week. Yeah.
I like it. Fantasy pick. One of the guys I like to give out some of the lower dollar guys that you need to round out your squad.
Yeah.
One, Sam Ryder. Remember the famous hole-in-one 2 years ago on the 16th hole? He's made 5 straight cuts in this event. He likes playing out there. It's not like he, is going to finish in the top 5 or something, but he's going to make the cut. And that's all you need out of your low guys. He's $6,900 on DraftKings. I'm going to put him in my lineup. Also, as far as the one and done, I'm taking JT, and I'm not talking about Poston. I'm talking about Justin Thomas.
Okay.
I think he's back. He's made 3 straight top 10s. And he's made 2 straight top 10s in this event. He likes playing this golf course, and I think he's going to take it upon himself to take Scheffler down because everybody's looking at Scheffler to make a three-peat. Plus 130 in the top 10 also on JT. I like a matchup, our man Cole, Eric Cole, minus 120 over Adam Scott. He hasn't played in this event, but I think he's going to play well on this golf course. Adam Hadwin, minus 120 over Cam Young. Hadwin plays well I think he lives out there. He's a Canadian, but I think he has a house out in that Scottsdale area and likes this golf course. Sam Burns, top 10 plus 230, 2 straight top 10s and a 6th. He was 6th here last year in 2023. Eric Cole, top 20 at plus 190. He has made 19 of his last 20 cuts with 9 top 20s. How about that?
Silly.
Talk about consistency, man. And then you mentioned Dietrich earlier in the show, Moose. Plus 140 for a top 30. This guy's playing well. He's trending in the right direction. I know he fell apart. Where was it? Was it not the Amex? That's where Burns fell apart.
Farmers?
The Farmers. He had a bad weekend at the Farmers. His first 2 rounds, he was really high up on the leaderboard. But plus 140 for a top 30, I'll take it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. There's 8 spots left in our DraftKings contest.
7 after I sign up.
7 after Danielle signs up. I saw her taking notes.
I did. I wrote a couple of things down because I always struggle with that low guy.
The last couple, Gotta fill the
It's
bench.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
who do I have for 67, 68, 69?
Like I have one
Yeah.
player left. I have $7.
Right.
You are over budget.
Right.
Can I just pay? Can I pay the difference?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I, buy
And
a vowel?
speaking of low guy, last week, the low guy, Nick Dunlap finished DFL last week
Mhm.
and made $32,000. But 2 weeks prior, he wins the tournament and gets nothing. How crazy is that?
Oh my God, I saw that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's funny. Well, because I wasn't paying attention the first couple of rounds. We had some company and everything else. So I think I missed like Thursday or Friday. And I was like, anybody give me an update on Dunlop? I opened the app and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Got
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yep.
Yeah. A little different when you got a couple
after your
things in your
win.
life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Well, guys, appreciate the early recording, late recording here on a Tuesday night as I'm heading to Disney in the morning with the fam. So
That's
Oh,
exciting.
nice.
yeah, no golf though. It's only as many times I've gone, I've never played golf. I hear the golf there is really, really good too.
Wait, I have to give you a fun fact. I might have to ask Brendan for what this is, but my first ever true 9 holes was at Disney, and I think I shot like, what did I shoot on through 9? I don't even know. I think I shot like 45. First time I ever played in my entire life. So
What's
special
wrong with
place.
that?
That's good.
Never to
First
be done
time
again.
ever. Yeah.
First time
heck yeah.
ever playing. Yeah,
I heard the golf's good there.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I used to live in Orlando when I worked with the Magic. So I was like, oh, I'll go play. I went, for like a team outing. They were like, oh, a woman that plays golf, let's bring her with. And people were like, who is she? And I'm like, I don't know. And it never happened again. So
Wow.
Love it. Well, thanks to Zach and Scott from Renasim. Thanks to Jim Smith, director of golf at Philly Cricket Club. Fun talking to all those guys today. And we will be back next week to see if anyone took their shirt off on 16 at the Waste Management. See you then.